Hi, Ngoc.
Hi, teacher.
Okay, I just want to say here I see you. Okay, Ngoc, we're going to do a writing today. So let me open here and go to my whiteboard. Okay, so it says focused writing, task 2, topic social, topic technology. Can you see the board?
Yes.
Number 1. With the growing population in cities, more and more people live in a home with small or no outdoor areas. Is it a positive or negative development? Okay, let's talk about your house first. You are living in a are you living in a house with an outdoor area? Yes or no?
Just I living in a house that have outdoor area.
Outdoor area. Okay. Do you know any friends that don't have outdoor areas?
Just most of my house friend don't have outdoor area.
Okay. So do you think it's positive or negative?
I think it both have positive and negative, but positive is more than negative.
It's more positive than negative?
Yes.
Why? Why do you think it's positive not to have an outdoor area?
I think it have more negative than positive. Because if uh if our house have outdoor area, we can do a lot of things with that, like plant vegetable to eat. Uh, we can have more area uh, to play outside.
Wait.
And
I don't understand what you're saying. You're saying if we don't have any outdoor area, it's negative, yes? Why? Why is it negative? Why do you think it's negative?
I think because the house that don't have the outdoor areas um can don't have place to do some activity like plant vegetable or play outside in their home.
And why is it negative to not have an outdoor area? Why is it negative not to have an outdoor area? Ngoc, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, why is it negative not to have an outdoor area?
I think we can have the fresh air like the house that have outdoor areas, because if we have outdoor areas, we can plant more trees that have
Okay, it's very difficult to understand your English. You have to speak slowly and you have to say your words to the end correctly, okay? I don't understand what you are saying and you are speaking English. So you need to, in order to speak high, to have a high score in English, people need to understand you, okay? I find it very difficult to understand you because you're not saying your words correctly and you are speaking too fast. So I need you to slow down so that I can understand you, okay? Let's try again. Tell me again.
I think the house that don't have the outdoor areas might don't have the fresh air like house have outdoor area, because I think the house that have outdoor areas can have more place to plant more trees, and they can plant vegetable to eat instead of buying vegetable at the supermarket. And they can have more place to have a party or play sport on that area.
Okay, you're not saying half as much as you need to say. You have to have an introduction. You have to have two argue points, your body, and you have to have a conclusion. Okay, you have to speak for 2 minutes. So you have to at least tell me 270 words, not just 5 sentences. And what you are saying is that you are telling me it's negative not to have an outdoor area, but then you say maybe they have a different indoor area where they can grow plants. It doesn't make sense what you are saying. So you must say there are positive and negative points to have no outdoor area. If one positive point is that they might have a different room that is big enough for them to grow plants. But what is the negative side? You haven't told me that yet. Why is it negative not to have an outdoor area? There's no fresh air. They can't have plants. Okay, you're not telling me what I need to know. The question is it positive or is it negative? Okay, what's your answer? Your answer is it's more negative, yes?
Nowadays there are a lot of home that a lot of people that live in the city, and house of people are increased, so people don't have place to have their outdoor areas. I think it's have more positive. It's have both positive and negative, but is negative is more than the positive in this situation.
Okay, why? Give me a reason why it is negative. Why do you give me one reason? You haven't told me anything yet. One reason why it can be negative.
I think there are a lot of houses that don't have negative, and they don't have enough fresh air, like houses that have outdoor areas, because they can have more place to do almost everything they want, like plant vegetable instead of buying at the supermarket. That is better than.
Okay, introduction. It is true that an increasing number of people have to live in houses or flats which are cramped, or there is no outdoor area. So your introduction always is you state the question. You state what they're telling you. It is true that an increasing of people have to live in houses that are cramped and there's no outdoor area. While this trend could be positive because there's more housing for people, to some extent, I would argue that its negative side is greater. So you are saying it can be positive, but I'm going to argue the negative part because it's more negative than positive. So all I did here with my introduction was saying, yes, it's true. There are more people living in cramped houses with no outdoor area. It has positive sides, but it has more negative sides. And that is what I'm going to discuss with you now. Do you understand the introduction?
Yes.
Okay. Now, your body. Your body is going to have 2 paragraphs because you're going to discuss the negative parts. So my body is on the one hand, a small space offers people a simple lifestyle. First, since smaller houses or flats are cheaper to rent or to buy, they are cheaper. Many people choose to live in them as the best available option. These kinds of accommodation, especially suit many young people who are studying or just have their first job. So people moving out of the house, your senior youngsters. So people that studying or people that are moving into their first home. They are people that don't have children. They are people that needs to find a cheap place to stay. So they don't care about an outdoor area. They just want to have a simple life, work and make money. When they get married and children, then they will go buy a bigger house. But for now, this is great for them. Okay, second, homeowners of small houses could be able to spend less time and cleaning up their home or outside area. So they have more time because they're not cleaning as much. This becomes increasingly important in the fast-paced life because we don't have time to clean. We need to get to work, okay? So especially farmers. Farmers work from sunrise to sunset and even further and even beyond. They work from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. at night. They don't have time to come and clean their house. They don't care about outside areas because they need to get to the farm. But now this question is about people in the city. Again, lawyers, doctors, they working long hours. They need to get to hospital, to the office. They don't care to clean. They don't have time. So small houses are great. No outdoor area, that's great, okay? Because they don't have time. Okay, now we're going to argue the negative point. On the other hand, I believe that this housing trend has a significant negative impact. Now we're going to say our negative side. One consideration is that the limitation of open spaces for physical activities discourages people to do workouts. Okay, so if I don't have an outdoor area, I'm not going to go outside. I'm not going to go do exercise. I'm going to lie on my couch and watch a movie. I don't care about being outside because it doesn't encourage me. So it's a significant negative impact. There's no fresh air, sunlight that I can go and get. There's no exercise. I can't grow my own plants. Okay, one consideration is that the limitation of open spaces for physical activities discourage people, I don't care to go outside, to do workouts. This lifestyle makes people more prone to the risk of developing some forms of diseases, such as obesity, because they don't practice, and diabetes, because I'm just eating all the time, lying on my couch. In addition, lack of space leads to lack of privacy, which might be difficult for a student who needs to find a quiet space to complete homework. So because it's cramped, there's no much private space for me to go. No outside area. Everybody has to be inside. Where will I do my homework? They're watching TV, they're playing, they're running. There's plants in their house because we don't have an outside area. So it's getting busy and full inside. I can't go outside and read my book. I can't go outside and practice my guitar or my flute. We all have to be inside. So there's no privacy for me to do my homework. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. On the other hand, I believe that this housing trend has a significant impact. Okay. In addition, lack of space leads to lack. Okay. Now we're going to our conclusion. So, in conclusion, while small living spaces bring about several benefits, I believe that the drawbacks of this tendency, if you understand that word, are much greater. Just type here. Do you understand everything that I'm saying to you now?
Yes.
Okay, you don't have to say the word body. It's just for me showing you. And here you don't, it's just the introduction. You don't have to say that. But that is your introduction. Okay, so. Okay, small areas. Okay, let's see if you can read it for me.
It is true that an interesting number of people have to live in houses or flats which are cramped or there is no other area. While this trend could be positive to some extent, I would agree that its negative side is greater. On the one hand, a small space offers people a simple lifestyle. First, since smaller houses uh, or flats are cheaper to rent or to buy, many people choose to live in them as the
You need to
best
slow
available
down.
option.
Your mind is faster than your words. That's why you can't read. You need to slow down, okay? No, you don't have to. A train is not chasing you. Calm down. We've got more than enough time. Read it calmly, and then your words will be better as well to understand, okay? First,
since smaller houses or flats are
houses.
cheaper, houses or flats are cheaper to rent or to buy, many people choose to live in them as the best available option. This kind of accommodation,
These kinds of accommodation.
this kind of
No, not this. These.
this kinds
These
of
kinds.
this kind of accommodation.
You're still not saying it right. If I have to close my eyes and not see this, I won't know what you are saying. These kinds, not this kind. These kinds of accommodation especially suit many young people who are studying or just have their first job. Slowly, okay? Try again. These
kinds of accommodation especially suit many young people who are studying or just have their first job. Second, how homeowners of small houses could be able to spend less time in cleaning up their home or outside area. This becomes increasingly important in the fast-paced life. On the other hand, I believe that this housing trend has a significant negative impact. One consideration is that the limitations of open space force physical
Spaces.
spaces for physical activities, discourage people to do workouts. This lifestyle makes people more prone
Makes people
more prone to the risk of de developing some forms of diseases such as
obesity and diabetes.
In addition, lack of space leads to lack of privacy, which might be difficult for a student who needs to find a quiet space to complete homework. In conclusion, while small living spaces bring about several benefits, I believe that the drawbacks of this tendency are much greater.
Okay, let's try again. Let's read it again.
It is true that an increasing number of people have to live in houses or flats which are cramped or this in no outdoor area. While this trend could be positive to some extent, I would agree that its negative side is greater. On the one hand, a small space offers people a simple lifestyle. First, since smaller houses or flats are cheaper to rent or to buy, many people choose to live in them as the best available option. This kind of accommodation especially suits many young people who are studying or just have their first job. Second, homeowners at small houses could be able to spend less time in cleaning up their home or outside area. This becomes increasingly important in the fast-paced life. On the other hand, I believe that this housing trend has a significant negative impact. On consideration is that the limitations of open space for physical activities discourage people to do workouts. This lifestyle makes people more prone to the risk of developing from some forms of disease such as obesity or diabetes. In addition, lack of space leads to lack of privacy, which might be difficult for a student who needs to find a quiet space to complete homework. In conclusion, while small living space bring more several benefits, I believe that the drawbacks of this tendency are much greater.
Okay, I want you to read it again. Your words are getting better. Okay, let's go again.
It is true that an increasing number of people have to live in houses or flats which are cramped or there is no outdoor area. While this trend could be positive to some extent, I would agree that its negative side is greater. On the one hand, a small space offers people a
Space, not spec. Space.
Space offers people a simple lifestyle. First, since smaller houses or flats are cheaper to rent or to buy. Many people choose to live in them as a best available option. The kinds of accommodation especially suit many young people who are studying or just have their first job. Second, homeowners of small houses could be able to spend less time and cleaning up their home or outside area. It becomes increasingly important in the fast-paced life. On the other hand, I believe that this housing trend has a significant negative impact. One consideration is that the limitations of open space for physical activities encourage people to do workouts. This lifestyle makes people more prone to the risk of developing some forms of disease, such as obesity or diabetes. In addition, lack of space leads to lack of privacy, which might be difficult for a student who needs to find a quiet space to complete homework. In conclusion, while small living space bring more several benefits, I believe that the drawbacks of the tendency are much greater.
Drawbacks. Drawbacks.
Drawbacks.
Drawbacks. Okay, good. All right. Do you understand? Do you understand all the words?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to read it one more time, or do you think you can remember it?
Can I read it one more time?
Okay.
It's true that an increasing number of people have to live in houses or flats which are cramped or there is no outdoor area. While this trend could be positive to some extent, I would argue that its negative side is greater. On the one hand, a small space offers people a simple lifestyle. First, since smaller houses or flats are cheaper to rent or to buy, many people choose to live in them as the best available option. This kind of accommodation especially suits many young people who are studying or just have their first job. Second, homeowner suits many people who are studying or just could be able to spend less time and cleaning up their home or outside area. This becomes increasingly important in the fast life.
Okay.
On the other hand, I believe that this housing trend has a significant negative impact. One consideration is that the limitations of open space for physical activities encourage people to do workouts. This lifestyle make people more prone to the risk of developing some forms of disease, such as
diseases, such as
obesity and diabetes.
Obesity
and diabetes.
Obesity is when you are very, very fat. So you just want to eat because you're not getting exercise or going outside. And diabetes is if we have too much sugar in your body. So you can't eat lots of sugary treats because there's too much sugar. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. In addition,
lack of space leads to lack of privacy, which might be difficult for a student who needs to find a quiet space to complete homework. In conclusion, while small living space bring about several benefits, I believe that the
small living spaces. Small living spaces.
small living spaces bring about several benefits. I believe that the drawbacks of this tendency are much greater.
Do you think, where will you like to stay in Ngoc? Would you like to stay in a place that has no outside area, or would you like to stay in a place that do have an outside area?
I would like to stay in a place that don't have outside area.
Oh, you don't want outside area?
Yes.
Why?
Because in my outside areas of my house, there are a lot of birds that make very noises, and I can focus on what I need to done. So I often do my homework very slow because I'm ready to listen to my homework very clearly.
Okay. So you don't want an outside area. Is that the only reason? Or is there another reason?
My outside area is in front of my house, so there are often a lot of people that dance or talk very noise in front of my house, but
That are talking loudly?
talking loudly and make a lot making noise, but I just not quiet, so it's make me very angry.
Okay. What about the outside area and exercise? So if you don't have an outside area, where will you exercise?
If my house don't have outside area, I will exercise at my house balcony because there also have many trees that make a good atmosphere, and in front of my bedroom. So when I wake up, I often go to my balcony to have an exercise.
So you exercise on your balcony?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go to add a page and see if you can remember that. Okay, but it's writing, so you don't have to remember. You understand how I'm writing this piece, yes? Remember your introduction. You use your statement, and then you say positive and negatives, and then your conclusion, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to number 2. Now I want to see if you can do it on your own. I'm going to help you, but remember, introduction, body, 2 paragraphs, and your conclusion. Number 2, in countries that have already achieved influence, any additional wealth would not make people happier. Do you agree or disagree? In countries that have